The Doberman had worked in law enforcement for 4 years before they adopted him. His name was Rex, the actual name on his retirement paperwork, kept by the handler who had worked with him. He was 7 years old, lean, precise, entirely black, except for the tan of his muzzle and eyebrows. He moved through the house with a professional economy that felt different from a pet's movement. Purposeful, calibrated, always aware of the room. When Melissa and Tom adopted him 3 months before their daughter's birth, the handler told them Rex was a good retirement candidate, calm off-duty, no resource guarding, gentle with people who were calm around him. The handler also told them that Rex would take his read from them, and that if they were afraid of him, he would know, and that was a variable worth managing. They were not afraid of him. They were, in the specific way of intelligent people preparing for a thing they could not fully prepare for, carefully attentive. When they brought Nora home from the hospital, Rex sniffed the car seat with formal thoroughness, and then sat in the hallway and did not move until they had put Nora down. In the weeks that followed, Rex established his own protocol around the baby. He would not approach the nursery when anyone outside the immediate family was present. He would not approach the nursery if Melissa or Tom were absent from the house. When they were home, he would take a single position at the nursery doorway, not inside the room, just at the threshold, and remain there at whatever intervals seemed to satisfy whatever internal metric he was working with. The problem, from the outside, was that a 7-year-old retired Doberman positioned in a doorway looks like a threat. Melissa's sister said so directly. 2 neighbors said so indirectly. Their pediatrician mentioned something about dog safety around infants. That was clearly aimed at the specific situation. Melissa did not move Rex. She had watched him with Nora. She had watched carefully, with the attention of a woman who was not going to be wrong about this. What she saw was an animal who was applying professional protocols to a civilian situation, doing, in a domestic context, the work he had been trained to do in the field. Assessing, maintaining position, staying between the thing that needed protecting and the direction from which risk was most likely to come. He was not aggressive. He was not threatening. He was working. At Nora's 2-month checkup, the pediatrician noted a small heart murmur that had not been detected at birth. She referred them to a pediatric cardiologist. The cardiologist ran an echocardiogram and told them it was a minor ventricular septal defect, a small hole in the heart wall, common, frequently closing on its own, requiring monitoring, but most likely not intervention. He asked if Nora had shown any symptoms at home. Unusual fussiness, laboriate breathing during feeding, reluctance to eat. Melissa thought about Rex. She thought about how Rex had specifically shifted his position during night feedings, closer during them in a way that was different from his daytime post. How he had been more attentive on the nights when Nora fed slowly and with effort. She told the cardiologist about the dog. He wrote something in his chart. He said, "These animals are sometimes ahead of us on cardiac presentation. There is a physiological basis for it." He paused. He said, "He sounds like a good dog." Melissa said, "He was a good officer first. Nora's VSD closed on its own by 18 months. The cardiologist released her from monitoring with language that he probably used often, but that felt, to Melissa, like something specific being said to her specifically. She drove home and told Rex. He was sitting in his doorway spot. He turned his eyebrows toward her when she spoke. That specific Doberman expression. The one where the eyebrows move while the face does not. Indicating attention without performance. She sat on the hallway floor and put her hand on his side. He allowed this for a moment. Then he returned his gaze to the nursery. He was still working.